This is the Rockzone 8, a 1000 watt 8-zone mono or 4-zone stereo multi-room and multi-input receiver amplifier that can be used for home use to create a multi-room audio setup, and even in commercial uses like offices, conference rooms, restaurants, bars, schools, waiting rooms, retail stores, gyms, and more. Now this is an 8-channel amplifier, and each zone has a set of speaker outputs to power a left and right speaker. Each channel puts out 125 watts RMS, which is perfect because most ceiling, wall, bookshelf, and home theater speakers are around 40 watts only, so this has more than enough headroom. On top of that, each channel on each zone can be run at 4 ohms, 8 ohms, and 16 ohms, which means if you have 4 16 ohm speakers ran in parallel, you can run all of them off of one channel on one zone, or you can run 2 8 ohm speakers in parallel off of one channel on one zone, etc. We made this graphic to help give you a better idea of some popular configurations. There are 2 RCA line outputs, which allows you to add a subwoofer, an additional amplifier, or more powered speakers to expand your setup. Let's take this into your house. You can have zone 1 be your kitchen, while zone 2 is your living room, and zone 3 is the outdoor patio and backyard area. Zone 4 is a bedroom, and so on. In each of these zones, you can have an assortment of different 16 ohm, 18 ohm, and 4 ohm speakers, as long as the total power doesn't exceed 125 watts per channel, and the total impedance doesn't fall below 4 ohms per channel. And then for each of these zones, you have control over the volume, as well as a 2-band bass and treble master EQ, so you can really fine-tune the sound around your whole setup. There are a bunch of different inputting options to get sound into your Rockzone 8. You can input through Bluetooth, through USB, built-in FM radio, optical or coaxial input, and then there are 2 RCA aux inputs. Now you can create different variations of stereo and mono zones through the stereo mono buttons here on the front. So if you set it to stereo mode, it will combine 2 zones to play as left and right. If you leave it in mono, it will play mono through each speaker on that zone. But you probably want to see this in action, so let's go to a demo we have set up.
What's up guys, so here I am with the Rockzone 8 all set up and ready to go. I set up 2 4 ohm speakers per zone for a total of 8 speakers. So I'm gonna play some music for you guys, and I'm gonna start with all zones playing at the same time, and then I'm going to bring each one in so you can get an idea of the flexibility you can have when you have each zone set up. So here we go. Alright, sounds good. So this is all zones going at the same time. And I'm gonna bring the rest down. I'm just gonna go with zone 1. Okay. So now you're just hearing zone 1 right here. Okay. Now I'm gonna bring in zone 2 and lower zone 1. Okay, great. So this is just zone 2 now. Same thing, I'm gonna bring in zone 3 and lower zone 2. Okay, so now you're just hearing zone 3. And now I'm gonna bring in zone 4. Okay, so now you're just hearing zone 4. Okay, very cool. You have so much control. Now we're gonna bring all of them back in. Sounds really great. And what's also really cool is that you can have all of your zones in stereo, but you can switch them to mono by just pressing this button here. So now you're hearing everything in mono, which is really cool stuff. Just heard, the Rockzone 8 sounds really great when listening to music. You also have different options when playing the music through each zone. And what's also really cool is the microphone input on the front. So we can plug in a microphone like this dynamic microphone here, or a paging microphone if you're using the Rockzone 8 in a more commercial setting. So if I turn my microphone on right now, Check 1, 2. You'll be able to hear my voice throughout each zone, and this would be great for making any announcements in your store, in your office, etc.
So as you just saw in that demo, the Rockzone 8 is an absolute beast. As you also saw, there is a microphone input with an independent microphone volume control on the front of the device. You can use this to create a paging system for your commercial space with a paging mic like our CH Mic 70. And as I mentioned before, there is a bass and treble master EQ to adjust the sound of the whole system and a balance knob to control the level outputting between left and right speakers if you are using the zones in stereo. Also included is a remote that allows you to control the master volume of the unit, mute the unit, as well as select the input. The Rockzone 8 also comes with included attachable rack ears that make the unit rack mountable, and 2 antennas, one for the Bluetooth signal and one for the FM radio, so you get the best signal for both sources. The Rockzone 8 is the smart brain and powerhouse that will be the hub of all of your audio inputting and outputting in your setup, whether you're using it in your home, in an office space, conference room, retail store, gym, restaurant, or more. So if you're looking for an 8-channel, 1000 watts multi-zone receiver amplifier, look no further than the Rockzone 8 from Rockville.